Now we want to speak to another DC property that was announced. This one is called the Dynamic Duo. It's was confirmed by James Gunn earlier this week, or maybe late last week, and this is going to be a story about Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, the first two Robins, and so the first report that we got was that this was going to be like them younger and as orphan thieves. But apparently the report about them being thieves has been proved false at this point. Mm-hmm. So we don't know kind of where they are in their lives. Like, we don't know, I guess, if it's going to be them as younger teens or, if Dick Grayson will be Nightwing yet already. But yeah, this is produced by Matt Reeves and James Gunn, and it's not set in Matt Reeves' DC universe. Most likely will be set in James Gunn's DC universe. And it's going to be a mix of CGI animation, puppetry, and I guess animation, puppetry, and CGI is what they're saying.
Yeah.
And some live action real-time performance. I can't recall the name of the studio who's working on it. I don't know if you have that, but
nope.
I saw a reel.
Is it not DC Studios?
Well, it's like the animation studio, I should say.
Okay.
They basically do this style quite a bit of like this kind of puppetry and CGI and
gotcha.
And so it's a really interesting style, and I don't think I've really ever seen a superhero story filmed or told in that style of animation and like kind of like almost like stop motion, it feels like. So I'm very curious. I think that's an exciting medium to play with, and I can't recall a story ever like fully focusing on just like Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. So that's another exciting element for me as well.
Yeah. I'm still wondering if this is going to be a part of the DCU. I feel like maybe it is, but
it's gotta be, right?
There's a big, I mean, because like Matt Reeves, I feel like they're just like, yeah, anything Batman, give it to Matt Reeves. It's just to produce.
Pretty much.
Because like he was a producer for that Cape Crusader show, and he's been a producer, and
he was going to write the Arkham Asylum show for James Gunn's DCU, and then that got canceled.
Right. So. And, he's had his thing with Penguin. He's doing Batman 2.
And he's doing other spinoffs for the Batman, apparently. So.
Apparently, yeah.
Right.
So, and like, James Gunn being attached makes me feel like it's a part of the DCU. And it's the next like animated show that they're gonna put out.
Right.
It still might not be. It might be a new, it might be a new DC animated movie, and we're moving past the, really mid to terrible animated movies that they keep pumping out every year.
Yeah.
Granted, I have not seen Watchmen yet. I will get around to it one day.
Did that already come out already?
It did.
Oh, I didn't even know.
You have to buy it, I think.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm watching that.
I'm like, yeah. Okay. If it's I can't imagine that they're both Robin at the same time.
No, I mean, like, how would that make? I mean, you would have to fully alter the universe for basically Batman would have to have two Robins at the same time.
Yeah,
and so that's never been done.
What I think will be the case is either Jason as Robin or just Red Hood, and then without a doubt, Dick Grayson is just Nightwing at this point.
Yeah, I have a theory.
Okay, what's the theory?
So I was gonna say that. So I think it's definitely gonna be Dick Grayson as Nightwing. I still think Jason Todd will be Robin. And that might not make sense in the sense that like we know Damian Wayne, I think, is going to be Robin in this universe.
Yeah.
But I still think it could be like, let's go back in time in this universe and like really learn who our heroes were when they were younger.
Right.
And I I think it would be really, really cool if they adapted this comic for Batman called Batman the Cult. And
don't know that one.
Yeah, that's one where Batman is kidnapped by the Blackfire group, like Damian Blackfire, and like he's going through this like psychological torture this entire time. But like Jason Todd and Dick Grayson like have to team up and kind of help save Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I mean, logically, these like Batman is going to exist in this universe regardless, you know, and I don't think this is like a point where you could like adapt a comic where like those two are fighting for like the cowl of the Batman.
Yeah.
Because that has been done. But I feel like we could get there at some point, but I think this is going to be like a younger or like an earlier time in the DC universe, and they're going to have to like work together for the first time.
Yeah.
That's I mean, and I don't know, and maybe the name The Dynamic Duo is like more of a sarcastic like title for them. And they're not really dynamic, right?
Right. Yeah, so, or because Jason and him and Dick would obviously have some tension.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much the opposite of Robins, you know? Like one is very straight-laced and like a leader, and the other is pretty much like free and wild and does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So I think that's an exciting pairing.
Yeah, I do too. I also think that, again, going back to what we were saying about the Bane and Deathstroke movie that's in the works, and the fact that, you know, Superman is having a lot of inspiration from Justice League International and having, you know, weird characters that you've never seen before in live action. And we're having this Lantern show where we're having an older Hal Jordan and a new recruit, kind of like Jon Stewart. Like
it's like every single show and movie is like at least two people teaming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even besides that, I think it's just really refreshing that, like, going back to Joker 2, like just kind of taking these ideas that we know already, and it's like, well, we've seen this plenty of times. I could make it on the live action on the screen, the way that we've seen it in comic books and animated form. But let's just take these characters and just do something new with them. It's still the same characters. We're just gonna pick up with them at different points in their life, and they're interacting with characters that we don't see. Like if you're gonna see Nightwing, like you would immediately think, well, the first time we'll see Nightwing is with Batman, and that's, you know, we'll never see him team up with like a Red Hood. But it's like, no, we're gonna get Red Hood and Nightwing together
potentially. Right.
Well, but at least those two characters, Jason Todd and Dick Grayson, will have together for the first time in their own show. And the first Robin that we'll get is Batman's son. You know, so it's just, I just find it really refreshing, even though it's not the traditional way of you would probably build up the universe.
No, but like I think
it's cool.
Yeah, I agreed. And like that story of Batman at the beginning without any of the Bat family has been told over and over and over and over again. And it's just like with gosh, what was it? I don't know. I mean, like there's been movies recently that like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Like that one skipped the origin because we've seen it so many times. And this one is skipping past all of like the big Batman stuff so that we already have the Bat family.
Yeah.
And I think that's a necessary thing. Like I think it's time to tell that side of the story for Batman, see a different light for him, you know?
As a dad.
Yeah.
As
him and Damien, that's going to be exciting. Yeah. But like, I you know, and I don't think this is the case. Like if this were to come out after like Brave and the Bold, you could see like Jason and Dick, like if Batman, like, I don't know, that'd be a crazy move if like Batman dies in the Brave and the Bold movie. But like you could see them fight. But like the fact that it's this kind of like stop motion animation thing makes me believe that's not going to be the case. That's just not the right medium for it. to have Jason and like Dick fight for like the bat cowl, like that's there's no way that like they're doing that.
No. And I think that this possibly means that those two show up in that movie.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I'd love it so much.
Nightwing in a movie. Ooh.
Nightwing, Red Hood, Robin, all together. I love it. Yeah. Well, James Gunn is cooking for sure. I'm a fan of everything that's been announced so far for the DC universe.